Do I have any running?
Running backs?
I do have running backs this week. That is not a concern right now. We have some guys that are stepping up, but we also have running backs. But just in case, we have some guys, some extra guys who will have to step up and, be counted on.
Sefo, you said people stopped you in Safeway last week. What's been the reaction since Saturday for you?
I've kind of, I don't know. I've kind of been hiding in my house. I've had some schoolwork to catch up on, so I've been doing that. But a lot of people are happy, and just like the team is, and it's great to see. I really appreciate all the support that we got from the fans, at the game and even after the game. It truly means a lot, and so I think a lot of people are excited right now, as are we, and hopefully we can keep this train going.
Sefo, during the rebuilding process that this program's been on, that you've been a big part of, and there's been conversation about losing, or rather learning from losing experiences. How about a winning experience that you guys had? What can a team learn from what happened on Saturday against Colorado State?
Many things, especially from the game this weekend, or this past weekend, because we did not play a perfect game, not by any stretch, and there are a lot of things that we could have done better to, I guess, make the game easier on ourselves. I missed a deep ball. We had a couple drop passes, blocking up front. Just speaking from an offensive perspective, it could have been better all around, in all phases of the game. So you go back on film, you watch kind of the mistakes you made and see what you can do to correct them, and so that teams can't go back and try and pick on that when you play them coming up.
Is there then a validation for you guys about the lessons that you've been taught here in the last couple of years to finally get over the hump and see some success?
I think so, but I think we want to keep going. I don't think we're really satisfied with where we are right now. I think that we're still a little frustrated with kind of how we've been playing. I know we've played better, but I think we expect a little bit more from ourselves, and we expect ourselves to keep going and be prepared for the tough games coming up.
Sefo, when you have an opponent like this that's lost a bunch of games in a row, does it test your maturity as a team to stay focused and make sure that you don't play down and just make sure you take care of business?
Yeah, I think it definitely tests the maturity of a team in any sport, especially for this team. I think that they're still a good team, even though their record says that they're 0-2. They're going to be really fired up to come up here and play us, and we have to come out and and perform just like it's any other team. You can't take Nicholls State lightly. From what I've seen on film, they're a good team, and we'll have to come out ready to play.
How high is the team morale right now, coming 2 wins in a row, and also the big win in the rivalry?
Morale's pretty high. I think that a lot of guys are still pretty happy with finally getting into a close game and being able to pull it out, which is great to see. And everyone's excited to get back to work and excited to get ready to play Nicholls State this week.
Obviously, like you said, you can't overlook them, but in the UMass game, I'm sure it was enjoyable for you guys to see other guys that practice every day get out there and get some reps. Is that a goal for guys like you to get, a Jordan Gerke and a Cade Apsay to get out there? Is that something you think about going into a game like this?
Definitely. Yes, in the fact that you expect to execute to the point where you're moving as an offense up and down the field because we believe that we're a really good offense and that we shouldn't really be stopped and we shouldn't stop ourselves. That's probably the only thing that we believe should stop us at any week. But we just want to be able to execute. And I think against UMass, we did a really good job of executing and moving the ball up and down the field, which allowed other guys to get in, which obviously is the goal every week, but, it's not always going to happen due to many circumstances. But, you always want to try and get teammates in.
Sefo, you talked about this team can play a lot better and maybe you're a little frustrated. Offensively, where is this team's execution, and is it where you think it should be, or are you guys a little behind the curve?
I think it's up and down. I think that there's been peaks where we've been really good, and then I think there's other times where we miss something here or there, which kind of hurts the offense. I think we do a really good job of once we get a first down, we kind of get into a rhythm, which really helps us and helps the tempo of our offense, which I think really hurts teams, especially teams that come up here into Colorado and plays at altitude. But I don't want to say we're behind the curve. maybe we're on the curve or going forward. I just think we just need to be more consistent as an offense as a whole, because it's never just one position in a game that just continually messes up. It's a pass here or a drop here or a missed block here. So we just got to hone down on all our fundamentals and be ready to go every play.
You talk about what you have seen on film with Nicholls State that you feel like they do well.
Yeah, totally. I think their DBs play really well. They play a lot of single high, which is kind of crowding the box. So, but I definitely think that their secondary is kind of their strong point. They rotate a bunch of guys back there, and so we'll have to be ready for a couple of different things that they also throw at us.
If I'm not mistaken, Diego is one of your roommates.
Yes.
How
yes.
excited were you for him to finally get that?
Very excited. I think that especially for him to kind of get the, I guess, redemption shot, because he messed up on the end of regulation. There it is, end of regulation, missed field goal. So I was happy for him to get a redemption shot and happy for him to make it, especially with his parents here. It's a great moment for him and them. So just ecstatic for him, to kind of hit the shot.
For people who don't know him on quite that level, what can you tell them about Diego as a person?
Diego's really quiet. He almost didn't live with us, I think 1.5 years ago now, but he slowly opened up to us. He's really witty, but he's very camera shy, so it's kind of hard to get him out there. But he's a great guy. Everyone loves him, and just call him Rico Suave over there. He's the man.
Sefo, you've gone about 80 passes in a row now without an interception. Is that a sign of the maturity, and are you seeing the ball better, the field better, the defense? Is it your agility in the backfield, all those things?
I think it's a combination of everything. I think that having a strong running game, kind of opens up the passing lanes a little bit more. I haven't been sacked, I think, in the last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, and so that's a testament to the O-line doing very well up front for me. And I just think I'm being smarter with the ball. I think there's a couple of times where the play's not there, and you just end up throwing it away. Which is kind of frustrating because you want to make a play, but sometimes it's the smartest play to make.
So how do you guys resist the urge not to look ahead? Human nature is a powerful force. I know you guys got to focus on each week, but it's got to be hard not to look ahead to what's next.
I don't think it's hard. I think that coming from this team where each week last year was a dogfight, no matter who we played, I think that you have to respect each opponent that you come up against each week. And Nicholls State's a great team. People will say, this is an easy game or anything like that, but I think they're a good team, and we have to come out ready to play. I think they'll be jacked up and pretty excited to come out here and ready to play. And so I think that especially on offense, we have to use our tempo and push it against these guys. They don't have a lot of rotation up front in their front 7, and so I think if we push the tempo here and put them away early, it'll be really beneficial to us. But we're focusing on this week and this week alone.
Hey, Seba, how did Sam do at left tackle last week in his first start?
He did very well. I think that from what I saw in film, he didn't really let a lot through. Obviously he'll make a mistake here or there, but everyone does that. But from what I've seen in that game, the game before, and even last year when he played against UW, he's done a very good job. I trust him, and I'm not really worried about my backside.
Has that game, a lot of people sort of felt that the game on Saturday maybe revitalized or re-energized the rivalry between you guys. Do you have any sense of that, or was it just another game?
It's a rivalry, but when I just say it's just another game, I don't want to have people just put a lot of extra emphasis on it, because to us we have to go in with a calm and just not put more on it so that we're just focused on the game at hand. To me, you just go in as another game just so you can just stay focused on it. I don't want to blow anything out of proportion. Even when you go into a championship game, which I think is every week, but if you go into a championship game, you want to, go into it as a calm and focus so that you're not worried about putting extra worry on anything.